but we do find this last survivor hiding here, and that's going to secure not only just the 4K for the Evan here, but this is going to secure the set point for Purgatory and the victory, which is going to unfortunately eliminate Cat Jam from Wilted Rose.
Hey, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q. And today we're going to be switching things up as far as our competitive DBD action. We're going to go hang out with our homies from the land down under. Dead by OCE has the Wilted Rose tournament going on through the month of April. And even though this definitely requires like an extremely early morning wake up for your boy to come hang out on the desk with my OCE homies, it's always plenty worth it. Seeing some different killers, different strategies. And honestly, this video is the perfect example of that. We were in our losers brackets. We saw teams breaking out all the stops to make sure that they kept their tournament hopes alive. We actually saw some curveballs too, like some great strong artist and trapper gameplay. Yeah, that's right. Strong Evan gameplay on the ARP. You ain't going to want to miss this one, all right? You can also come kick it with your boy for some live Wilted Rose action Friday and Saturday that's coming up, 7 p.m. Sydney time. That's really early over here in the US, but if you want to wake up early with your boy, 5 a.m. Eastern time, I'll leave a link for their Discord as well as for the live stream down in the description below, so you can come hang out and stay up to date as far as what they got going on. All right, if you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, leave a like and a comment. That's going to help us out with that YouTube algorithm, gets this competitive DBD content in front of more people. And of course, if you hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, we can catch you right back here for that next video. All right, till we do though, for real, with everything crazy going on in the world today, do me one last favor: be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, it's your boy Q. Signing out. Artists should be a load of fun here. Going to be something new for both our killers and survivors, as well as for the viewers here. And seeing her on Cold Tower, I feel like should get us a lot of engagements. Actually, already seeing a nice long shot here from Mirage to be able to get an early M2 pressure here. Now moving back to the back of Shaq, also actually trying to track him here at the Pride Rock. You're trying to make a play using the birds, and this is kind of where the zoning technique from the artist can be really strong here. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the rest of this trial plays out.
And now, of all the artist players that I know in the OCE region, Mirage is just one of them who is just really up there, so we should really expect to see some very high skill leveled artist gaming here as we see a really nice down through this long wall gym here onto Mirage, who's going to be on his first hook, as we're yet to see any generators popping as of just yet, but I fully expect to at least see one with a good amount of progress as Pain Resonance comes into play, regressing that generator and revealing our Claudette working on that gen there. We got some we got a single crow only going out to monitor the area, monitor survivors on generators. A really great strategy for artists by only sending one crow at a time for that much faster regen to use those crows. Are going to go for a commonly referred to as the shotgun strat.
Yeah, and it allows you to just get, as you're talking about, get multiple uses relatively quick, especially when you're talking about sitting back here, protecting your hook while also trying to scout the map, right? Like you kind of get a little bit of double-sided information, especially because here, Gruck just now coming off the gens, as we have about 20 seconds or so left on the hook stage itself. We do have a player moving in for the save. We're doing a good job though. Is Mirage sitting as far as doing a little bit of a body block action, counting out our borrowed time here. Might have at least been enough time to get themselves the save. We also see the ruin getting cleansed across the way. Hit coming in just before borrowed time has expired. So we spent almost the entirety waiting it out to still get the actual men's status itself and an extra hit, which gives, of course, Felix a little bit of extra of a speed boost to make a play over here towards the main building. Can't help but notice, however, that we have yet to see a generator complete.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we haven't been able to have a generator complete as of just yet, especially with Ruin being in the trial as well, which at this point has been cleansed. But that regression being in play around the start of the game, especially when you've got your artists shooting crows all across the map, we're going to be seeing Mirage going down once again. A couple of cheeky nodders, and we're going to check around with some crows to see if there's anyone nearby, and we do get a hit onto our Claudette here. Scissor on the opposite side of the map here across the ways, as we don't see Decisive Strike coming into play, unfortunately, as of yet. But that will be a second hook onto Mirage and another Scourge hook as well for Mirage. This is really, really lucky where he's been able to get these downs near where the Scourge hooks are.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those risks that you take going in, right? You happen to get it working out, getting the regression on top of that. I mean, at first you had the help from the Ruin, but you talk about just being able to earn extra regression with every hook. I mean, honestly, it's just a really good spot for Mirage, especially with the rate that you're already collecting hook states at, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And just getting that extra regression with each hook is just slowing the game down to a point where it'll get to a point where you get your first elimination and there's still so many gens left, and it's not going to be enough for survivors to snowball, get gens done, keep up with resets, keep up with unhooks, anything that needs to happen. And we see another beautiful, beautiful hit by just sending off a single crow onto a survivor on a gen. They get the birds on them. You send your crows out in a nice split pattern, as we might be seeing a double save coming through here. Claudette takes the hit here and is going to go for the trade, but the borrowed time hit, really, really nicely played by Mirage here, stopping the Claudette from going down here, but will unfortunately get tunneled out here. We might be seeing a balanced landing coming into play here. I would hope so. We do. So Mirage does have a little bit more time to make it to the main building here and waste as much time as possible as the survivors make the tough choice of resetting or smashing out that gen progress, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the only tough thing right now is we are moving Chase up towards the 3-gen situation that's commonly tried to be protected by the killer, which is on, the top side of the map. Now going to be seeing the Felix retreating back more along the left side here. Actually not going to be able to make the pallet, though. This is going to be the down in the space. Not sure if we have anybody around to try and get the pallet safe. Not hearing any footsteps. That is going to be generator number 2 getting complete. However, I think that was on the bottom side of the map here, but we are going to see again with the hook here. You had mentioned an elimination this early into the match here, down to a 3v1. We have the 3-gen, even almost consider it of like a 4-gen in the top side of the map here to have control. Now finding a little bit of extra information as far as finding the Fang back here, thanks to the crows, and we are using the thick tar add-on, which is going to cause just a little bit of extra time for our survivors to get rid of those crows, which makes it a little bit easier to follow it up with a second shot.
And seeing our Fang here trying to dodge out the crows here has really put them into a spot where they're just going to get downed by the M1, unfortunately. We saw Mirage was being very risky with his power just there by only doing single fire shots to even try and get the injure, as opposed to spreading them all out, getting that faster cooldown, regen, however you want to put it, of the power here to get that hit at the main building is a really, really smart play by Mirage here. So at this point in time, when you've got someone on the hook inside what you'd want to be the 3-gen, someone already dead as well, everyone else injured as well, the fact that we haven't seen resets coming through just yet makes me really think that the survivors are going to be prioritizing the gens here to get those extra points, as they really should, because going for this save is going to be tough, but they still managed to pull it off. This Claudette is fresh hook though, and will be going straight onto, this was a Scourge hook as well, I believe, but that gen does pop in the distance before this rescue happens, so that may or may not have been coordinated by the Madmen, but if so, that was somewhat of a nice play on their part as well.
Yeah, and you had mentioned the fresh hook. I mean, it is going to render an extra point here for our killer, but that does give our survivors a little bit of additional time here. We do see both of them being injured, maybe going to be able to get together here, find a quick reset point. We do see, however, the Fang is going to get a set of crows around. There's the shot across the map, and that was absolutely disgusting.
Oh, 100%. Mirage showing the mechanical skill of the artist here is just absolutely insane, getting those bird downs as well at the end to finish it off. It's going to be a 4K at 2 generators starting off this first game of today, and I don't think we're going to be able to see another artist perform as well as Mirage has here. A little bit of asserting dominance here, as he should, and yet another Scourge hook.
Yeah, I mean, really just, especially seeing the extra value at the end, just an extra little internal W here for Mirage. You're going to be able to secure your last slug, getting the 4K at just 3 gens complete. This is going to be big here because that is now going to allow your survivors to come out, and they don't even have to worry about playing into a 4-gen if you want to at least talk about taking the lead. But then if you're able to actually get gens and even get some stages out the door, you can really be setting the pace here in the first set.
Oh yeah, 100%. So now with Stephook being on the survivor side now and Madmen giving it a go on the killer, the win condition is really, really steep for Madmen here if they want to be able to make this comeback and win this first set point. But we're gonna find out for you right after this quick score update, which will see Stephook being at 24 points to Madmen's 6 points. So tough win condition, but will they be able to do it? We'll find out after this quick intermission.
All right, and it all comes down to this. Trial number 6 here between our teams of Cat Jam and Purgatory. Going to be seeing the killer here from Purgatory on the Trapper on ARP here. Going to be needing 5 stages. We are going to be seeing into a chase very, very quickly here. Going to be able to get the M1 before the pallet drop as well. And interesting to notice, no purple bag add-on, which does mean that our killer this time will have the option to move around the traps as we get later into the game.
Yeah, this is definitely a much different playstyle to Trapper here. A lot more mobility, violence, speed, and momentum with being able to grab these traps mid-chase,
Doc.
being able to ferry. Hey, I've got the mullet for it, let me tell you. I ain't no two-time, but I do have a beautiful mullet. Anyway, back to the esports. We're about 90 seconds into the corrupt here and continuing this chase onto our injured survivor and a beautiful mind game there. Gonna get our first down at 5 gens remaining, as well as some save the best for last stacks that are gonna come in handy later on, hopefully. Another trap to pick up, more time to set up in this awesome, lovely, cozy part of the map. A little nodder just to pass the time, you know, on your way and off you go.
And this is going to be interesting to see because we do see that. I was going to say that we had the 1 gen rotated up towards the shack side, but I think that was the gen that they did complete. Yeah, so no 4 gen intact up on the shack side of the map, which honestly perfectly fine, means you still got a common 3 and 3 on both sides of the map. The 3 on the opposite side, the side furthest from you, still being covered, at least was for the last couple of seconds there. Now going to be seeing 4 of those stacks of the Stephook thus far here, which is going to make it just a little bit easier for you to continue to collect up these M1s here. Now going to be seeing generator number 2 getting complete here, and we haven't really been able to set up too much of our traps, and that might come into an issue in a little bit here. But otherwise, you'll notice though, now actually has 4 injured survivors across the door. Some snowball potential, but the question is, are you at least going to be able to get some pressure and some hooks out of it?
Oh no, I'm not sure if that was the right thing to go for that M1 onto the survivor down on the pallet here, especially if you're going to immediately go and pick them up afterwards, as you are running save the best for last. But I think that bit of a misplay won't be too much in the grand scheme of things, as we do get our second fresh hook of the trial here. Now, we're going to have to scope out. Michaela should be fairly close by, as that deep wound... Oh, Michaela could have made a decent amount of distance, actually. Seeing that the deep wound has just gone away, actually, just goes to show that they've been in the same spot for a good amount of time or had someone mend for them. Little bits of information scattered here and there that you can use to formulate a plan is the best way to go. And we're going to be seeing a full reset from the survivor side here. So we shouldn't be seeing too much in the ways of gen repairs as of just now, but that should be expected to change as the trial progresses.
Yeah, this is tough here. I mean, I understand wanting to trap up this survivor, and I mean, granted, if you were, I was gonna say, able to camp out this survivor into the death, you would only need one more hook at that point. However, we do see survivors instead able to move in, get the save here. We see a couple of nodders here. Not sure if maybe we're trying to bait out a dead hard or anything like that. Really good patience though shown from our Nia here. Going to be continuing the chase here. I think that's actually now here got another body actually moving in. The Michaela moving in here, going to be able to take a protection hit if needed, but instead that's going to be a protection hit trying to help our friend who is now now on the ground as well. Big play here by our trapper.
Oh, if only they had a little bit more save the best for last stacks. Now, I have to say it from earlier. If you had 2 more stacks there, I think you would have had enough time to even body block the pallet maybe and get a double down there into the basement. Now, that would have been enough to win the game for Purgatory, I would say. But now we have a hook in the basement, and it's a fresh hook as well. So that's going to be a pretty much guaranteed 5 stages result as of right now, but that is very much so expected to change. We have the cheekiest nodders as well going on here. I don't know what kind of dead hard we would be trying to bait out from nearly across the map. Now, that's something I would be very scared of, Q.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting here because our survivors know that they're going to need to get this save, and I'm sure that they can anticipate that at least a little bit of the shack has been trapped. They probably can anticipate the trap that's just inside the pallet got reset, not knowing exactly where the other ones are, though they are kind of easily identifiable. Geez, that's a big old long word. That one's tough after a long day of casting, I'll tell you what. But the survivors, even if they were to allow the sacrifice here, that would be a W. So you need to not only get the save, but you need to get the last gen, and you already see we've got one of the doors trapped up. This is tough.
Yeah, the survivors are opting to get resets happening right now. If our killer here is able to get traps on both of the doors here, which we are going to see happen now with this trap at the harvester, I guess, or tractor, crane. It has 20 different words, I couldn't assume, throughout the scene. Everyone calls it something different, but that trap on the door is going to be the nail in the coffin here as the last gen pops. Both doors trapped, Rancor and Noed coming into play. Our obsession needs to be very, very careful, and our survivors need to find this totem ASAP. Otherwise, this is going to be a difficult trial to escape from.
Yeah, and this is very unfortunate because you've got everything that our killer from Purgatory needs to defend basically at their back. Both doors. You've also got the lit totem here as well, which does mean we've got the haste status here. We do have a pallet that we're going to be trying to work around here. It is a little bit stronger of a pallet, but nonetheless, especially with the haste from the Noed, a little bit easier for our killer here to be able to work around. We have yet to hear the sound notification across the way from that trap getting disarmed, which means we have a little bit of time to worry about the doors getting powered themselves. Nice mind game, though, to get the double back there. And now also going to be seeing some value across the way from that trap getting disarmed there, as we are going to be seeing a health state change over here as well.
Yeah, we see our survivor running off into the distance there, away from the trapped door, but we have Michaela getting caught out here. Oh no! And 7 stacks to save the best for last, just the immediate recovery almost. And we have our last survivor here as well. Q, are we going to see an Evan 4K right now?
Yeah, I think that is indeed what we are going to be seeing here, unless we have anybody who happens to be able to slide away with a bleed out or a slug play that happens to be a hatch sort of situation. But, you know, right here, of course, this is the obsession, which means when the moon hits your eye and it's your turn to die. That's Amori. I love to see it. That's going to be an elimination. Now solidifying these slugs. A 4K on Evan in comp DBD. I don't think I'd ever see the day.
Well, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and I wasn't the one to start singing yet, so we have.
I've been watching my figure. Thank you very much.
I was calling myself fat Q.
I know.
Oh man, a little bit of banter to finish this one off. I don't think Catjam's going to be able to do any sort of unbreakable or soul guard, because in an endgame scenario like this, when you do have Noed in play, you do have a soul guard user potentially separate to your unbreakable user. So you have two survivors who have the potential to pick themselves up, but we do find this last survivor hiding here, and that's going to secure not only just the 4K for the Evan here, but this is going to secure the set point for Purgatory and the victory, which is going to unfortunately eliminate Catjam from Wilted Rose.
And that's after Catjam. Catjam won the first set, right? And Purgatory came back to win back-to-back sets. Am I remembering that correctly?
That's exactly right.
That's insane here. We do see some celebrations here, checking all the traps, making sure that those things still work. I know, unfortunately, we didn't get to see too many survivors caught in them, so Evan doing some quality control, ensuring that the traps do indeed still work here on the ground, and that's huge. And I mean, honestly, that's got to have Purgatory feeling good, knowing that they've been able to, you know, earn themselves another day of some esports.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh as see you.